Breaking news!
Before we get started, let me just say in the description there is a couple links where you can vote for me for top 2A writer over at the Gundies. You can vote every day.
Oh, I voted for somebody else.
And you can also vote for Gideon Optics for emerging brand of the year.
And 2A boys.
And 2A boys, yeah.
They're 2A boys.
Creators.
So we got a lot of fam out there on the Gundies
Goon
list.
Tape is also nominated as well.
Oh, Goon Tape was nominated?
Yeah.
Yep, Goon Tape was out there. Yep. Hold on.
All right. So let's go ahead and jump into this. As you know, President Biden said that he would not pardon his son.
He probably doesn't remember what he said.
Of tax evasion and the gun charges. Today, he pardoned his son. So we're going to go ahead and read the statement and then discuss it for a few minutes and get out of here. So,
Crumpy, you're home? I thought you weren't home.
I just got home. Came home today to this house. All right. Who wants to go?
Dark, you want to do it?
You know what? I'll start. Let me just do a quick
It's not that long. Just do it all.
Today, I signed a pardon for my son. He should have just said for Hunter Biden. Like, come on.
I'll just read it. We'll talk about it later.
I signed a pardon for my son, Hunter. From the day I took office, I said I would not interfere with the Justice Department's decision-making, and I kept my word, even as I have watched my son being selectively and unfairly prosecuted without aggravating factors like use in a crime, multiple purchases, or buying a weapon as a straw purchaser. People are almost never brought to trial on felony charges solely for how they filled out a gun form.
Unless you're coded black.
What's that?
Unless you're coded black.
Yeah. Those who were late paying their taxes because of serious addictions, but paid them back subsequently with interest and penalties, are typically given non-criminal resolutions. It is clear that Hunter was treated differently. The charges in his cases, came about only after several of my political opponents in Congress instigated them to attack me, sounds familiar, and oppose my election. Then a carefully negotiated plea deal agreed to by the Department of Justice unraveled in the courtroom, with a number of my political opponents in Congress taking credit for bringing political pressure on the process. Had the plea deal held, it would have been a fair, reasonable resolution of Hunter's cases. No reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's cases can reach any other conclusion than Hunter was singled out only because he is my son. And that is wrong. There's been an effort to break Hunter, who has been 5.5 years sober, doubt it, even in the face of unrelenting attacks and selective prosecution. I'm trying to break Hunter. They've tried to break me. In trying to break Hunter, they've tried to break me. And there's no reason to believe it will stop here. Enough is enough. For my entire career, I've followed a simple principle. Just tell the American people the truth. That is the biggest lie I've ever heard in my life. Sorry. They'll be fair-minded. Here's the truth. I believe in the justice system. I'll be quiet. But as I have wrestled with this, I also believe raw politics has infected this process, and it led to a miscarriage of justice. And once I made this decision this weekend, there was no sense in delaying it further. I hope Americans will understand why a father and a president would come to this decision.
All right, a couple things here. The
Dude,
first
I'm
thing
gonna leave. I just can't talk. There's nothing I can say that's gonna be right.
a couple things here. First, I don't believe that he should have been prosecuted for the line under 4473.
Agreed.
But he was prosecuted for line under 4473,
Mhm.
As many other people are.
have.
Mhm.
So for him saying that this shouldn't be a crime for his son, but should be a crime for other people,
Rules for thee
Is-
and not for me.
just a absolute mess. And then for the tax evasion, there's thousands and thousands of people in jail for tax evasion. Look at Wesley Snipes. And to say, oh, that's not a real crime. You can be pardoned before charges were filed.
I'll let you finish the first part. You finish your train of thought before I jump in.
Go ahead.
No, Rich, go ahead. You had some things
All right.
to say.
So first off, who knows who wrote this and who knows who's running the country? Because this is bat crap crazy. Next thing is, why is Joe Biden either stepping down 25th Amendmenting, or is Joe Biden going on vacation until January 20th? What?
One or the other. I mean, this has to be brought on by some type of I'm leaving, so I need to complete this action
Because
before I leave.
there is, and I hate to say traditional, but there is a traditional way of doing this, that presidents execute pardons in the last several days of their term, and they execute any kind of pardon they want.
And they usually do it if they cannot be or do not intend on being reelected. Governors do it. It's common to do it in the end, or for some politicians.
No, they do it all the time. They do it all the time.
The technical aspects of that letter, almost nothing is true.
I agree.
Like the facts about the case and about what's going on, if you look at it objectively, if you look at it objectively, almost nothing that was said with respect to Hunter's crimes is not true.
Well, the deal that he made, the judge knocked it down because it was so lenient.
Wait. Republican judge appointed by Donald Trump?
It was a Democrat judge. But it was so lenient that it was, you can tell it was a sweetheart deal given to him.
And we don't know anybody in jail on gun crimes for like that weren't involved in a crime or wasn't.
That there weren't even actual firearms included in the crime.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and I think it shows a massive double standard when he says that people are prosecuted for that. I mean, Kodak Black was prosecuted.
So, Crump, let me ask you a question. If I made you Joe Biden today, and you wanted to pardon your son, is there anything else you would do to make people feel good about it?
That's literally what I was going to touch on.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, let's do it with Dark. Dark, if you were Joe Biden and your son was Hunter, and you wanted to pardon your son, but you want to make sure other people felt good about it,
I would pardon every single person that was charged and or convicted of lying on a 4473.
Or pardon Donald Trump?
I mean, I'm thinking of putting myself.
Focused point on what you said. Pardon everybody on a 4473. Amen, brother.
And you know,
whatever.
And I'm only trying to think. I mean, would I pardon Donald Trump? Of course, I would. But I'm trying to put myself in his crooked shoes, right? So I think I would look into the information of who is sitting in jail or charged with or had been convicted of the crime of lying on a 4473, because he says that no one has ever been charged or whatever.
Well, there's on average around 300 people a year prosecuted for lying on a 4473. So he's going to go back and pardon all those.
Yes,
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
I would say that's reasonable.
Yeah. But I also think that some people would say I'm extreme in some of my beliefs, and I think that every single restriction on any firearms at all should be removed as well.
Okay, let's we all believe like the GOA believes. You have the right to any weapon you want that could be imagined if you're not in jail.
All arms. All arms.
That's raise your hand if you believe that. And I wasn't pressuring. So just going from like, oh yeah, my son, he was his son, which dude, I'm ready to, I'm gonna run down the street yelling and screaming in a minute. I'll live stream it for you guys, just like the nut jobs that like January 6th, not January 6th. I mean Trump won. I'm gonna do one of those videos because he was unfairly pursued and prosecuted. Are you kidding me?
Absolute joke.
Over 1,000 people go to jail a year. The average of like 1,400 people go to jail a year for tax evasion.
That would be a tough one. I don't think he should pardon him on the tax evasion. I think he should get a partial pardon at best. And that's just because of my beliefs, because if I cannot stand here and say that I believe these things as someone who is an absolutist with our natural rights that are supposed to be protected by the Constitution for our right to self-preservation and our right to bear arms. I cannot sit here and say, well, good, he should be charged with that because 4473s are no, because 4473s are a government overreach. And by the definition, by what we believe in, there is no compromise, right? So I think he should be pardoned on that. But I think that is a huge misstep to literally let your sonny boy, who, by the way, was smashing his niece, who, by the way, was smashing a bunch of prostitutes, a bunch of women of the night, who is...
wait, what weren't his tax expenses because he was claiming... and it's a business expense.
So that's what I was going to get to. Take a look at what they're doing to Trump. And they're saying that Trump categorized an expense incorrectly. So if Hunter Biden was sitting here writing off expenses under his corporations for hiring women of the night, isn't that literally the exact thing? I mean, with it,
so they went after John Edwards, and the John Edwards case was overturned. So John Edwards was running for president. He had a pregnant, mistress, and I think donors paid hush money to. So on one hand, they threw that out because political donors paid for it, I believe, and they said it should have been a campaign expense or whatever. And now they're saying the opposite with it. None of this makes any sense.
And you know what? I don't know why I should have expected anything other than an unfair usage of power and overstepping for the benefit of his family. I don't know why I would have ever expected anything else other than him reaching out his powerful but broken, old and wrinkly arm to cast all of these bad things out of Hunter's past and future because he can, and because obviously he's not going to get reelected. Obviously, he likely doesn't have any other future political aspirations. So why do anything? Why does it matter what we think? But I never will expect another politician to do anything that is, in fairness or equality or anything. That's all bullshit. That's all gone. And even the positive things that Trump is seeming to be heading in the direction of possibly doing, I'll cross my fingers, but I don't know what to hope for.
I don't I don't know
Hey.
any dirt on Trump's boys, but you want to make a bet they pulled any of this crap, they would be in the same cell with the J6ers.
Sure.
I do. I saw one in Vegas.
Dude, we had his access to the hard drive of the laptop, of Hunter's laptop.
Hunter's laptop.
You want to
All right,
see some disgusting things?
Yeah.
Oh,
Statement of Robert Hunter Biden. I have admitted and take responsibility for my mistakes. No frickin' way. During the darkest days of my mistakes have been exploited to publicly humiliate. No, you did that all on your own, homie. Humiliate and shame me and my family for political sport. Wait a second. Is he a Republican? He's not a Republican, is he? Despite all of this, I have maintained my and dude, look,
You're right. Just keep on reading.
All right.
Out there.
Sobriety for more than 5 years, because of my deep faith and unwavering love and support of my family and friends. In the throes of addiction, I squandered many opportunities and advantages. In recovery, we can be given the opportunity to make amends where possible and rebuild our lives. If we never take for granted the mercy that we have been afforded, I will never take the clemency I have been given today for granted and will devote my life I have rebuilt to helping those who still, like his daughter from the stripper, that he's never seen. So you're telling me he's a changed man all of a sudden. He's found Jesus and he's going to be out there, helping people recover. Probably after the bender he's going on tonight.
How look, as a person that has been in recovery for 14 and a half years, I got clean November 5th, 2010. I know the date I got clean. I know the moment that I decided to no longer engage in that behavior. How is it that he is 5.5 years clean after a 4 year? Am I missing something? Like, how does this time add up?
But over the last 5.5 years, he's not once seen the daughter he fathered with the prostitute.
But I'm saying, yeah, and of course,
I'm sorry, but I want to be a little more respectful to the lady.
Well, whatever her occupation actually is, we could guess. But I mean, yes, that's dirtbag behavior, but just simply dirtbag behavior. I know a lot of individuals that are guilty of dirtbag behavior, but wasn't he publishing videos of him with a crack pipe in his mouth less than 4 years ago? How was he 5.5 years clean?
I think I did I include that in the thumbnail?
I'm not sure. I didn't see the thumbnail.
No, he's in the tub with like a cigarette.
No.
I think that's a glass dick. I don't think that's a crack pipe. I don't think that's a cigarette. I'd have to see. It could be a cigarette.
No, in the tub, I think the tub is a cigarette.
Oh, okay. Well, with the miniature M&M's picture that will never ever be removed from my brain from surfing the disgustingness of his hard drive, I would like to ask. Yeah, thank you for that, Crump. Man, this is disgusting, and I absolutely expected this and worse. And I expect that these people that have been in power, whoever's been running or not running the United States of America, if you're curious as to why we've become the divided states of embarrassment, this is exactly where we are because of people like this that are in this for themselves, that are in this for their families being in power and remaining in power for generations to come. And this is not the last that you've heard of Hunter.
No, definitely not.
So wouldn't the game plan be, and want to shout out to Frag Out Designs? Love you, homie.
Frag Out actually made the logo for Definition Knives.
For the Definition Knives that you see in red up top there. That was more than 5.5 years ago, right? That photo,
Yeah, I don't know.
Who keeps photos like that, and for why? Because you expect it to blow up and destroy your family's money-making machine. That's why you keep photos like that. Who
Yeah,
took
and
that photo, and why does he keep it?
the other thing of him saying that he squandered opportunities. What
Like
opportunities?
being a father? For
Like
real?
making $750,000 a month or whatever it was. Like I didn't see you squandering any opportunities. I saw you seizing all the opportunities that you could.
Is that why recently I saw a video of Hunter and Joe together?
I don't know.
Was that the stage play? Prepping us for this?
Possibly.
So
I would love to know when, like the date on the on the timestamp, right? Like I would love to know. Now, clearly here he looks like he's like those little when your teeth are shaved down to little pegs like that. Those are for dental
Caps.
implants.
Yeah.
And I would be curious to know when this was taken. That would give us a good idea. He could be clean here. He could not be. But all of these pictures that we've seen, like maybe the more
Right here I can with the teeth. That would have to be like 2021 ish, 2020.
and this isn't. I guess this isn't a compromising picture, right? Because if he's getting his
No.
teeth redone,
But what I'm saying is because the mask.
well,
you think so? Ah, right, rightio.
yeah, I guess
Yeah,
that's
they
a good
won't
point.
mask him otherwise.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point. Now, when that's what I want to know. When are these videos and pictures from?
I don't know.
Would love to find out.
Oh! So Unhinged Harry, we're international here, intercontinental.
Mhm.
The man from Oz is saying that wouldn't happen in Oz. We wouldn't allow that crap, but you Americans. Hey, all I gotta say is Unhinged Harry. Our country didn't start out as a penal colony, so there. I know him. I'm teasing. That's.
I mean, we kept our guns. So.
Well, now they have more.
Who has more what?
Australia has more guns than before the ban.
Oh,
Interesting.
so it's effective, is what you're saying.
Oh, it was very highly effective because right after that, I think break-ins, home invasions went up 500% after they took all the guns.
Robert Nichols Pickle, Robert Pickles Nickel says from 2014 to 2024, this is probably the most brazen abuse of power I have seen in this country.
Amen, brother.
Yep. Totally agree.
Thanks,
Man,
Harry, for being a good sport.
that looks like some pretty good stuff sitting in that pipe, I'm not going to lie.
And Dave has no guns.
This is another picture from his laptop.
Yeah, and didn't that, I swear that came out in like 2022, right? 2021? Something like that. No, that was before 2021.
All right, can we talk the strategy on this? Wouldn't the strategy to be do this, one, in your last days, two, step down, let Kamala be president for a day, queen for a day, and have her do the pardon?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, but
Is Joe now going to step down, and is Kamala going to pardon him for everything he's done wrong?
He can pardon himself.
Yeah, but for optics, I could see why they would want to have her pardon him. Hopefully no one in the Ukraine has a calculator. Dang. Both possessed. We all do understand. Hold on, let me go back here. We all do understand that Biden has, as a senator, was the one that pushed the change of the 4473s to be an enforceable contract. Dang.
That is true.
Kamala has been put out to pasture. Yeah. Pasture. They've officially given up trying to hide this, and it forces us to up our percentage of veracity of every single thing that we question them on. It's like, hold on. It's like he wants to destroy his party after a bad election. It's crazy. I'll just tell you right now,
Florida Guns, man, we've been talking about you. We haven't seen you around.
they do not hide anything. They operate in the open with impunity, and they have no concern for consequences, and they don't care about you. People say that I'm extreme when I say your government hates you and wants you dead.
Oh, by the way,
Me.
member for 31 months, ADXR 920.
Thanks,
Thank-
brother.
ADXR 920. We love
I
you.
love this comment. Corinne Jean-Pierre, or Jean-Claude Van Damme, as I like to call her, will just call Peter racist and walk away from the podium like she's been doing lately.
Yikes.
All right, I think we're done here.
Yep.
Oh, no, I'm going to scream another more hour down the street.
I'm
You
just,
can go do
when your parents used to say, like, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Like, I expect it. I
both.
expect you to F up. Of course, I get angry.
The scorpion and the fox crossing the river, right? Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
well, it was the scorpion and the frog, but like it. I expect a scorpion to sting me, and I'm not that surprised. But even when the scorpion's like, dude, look, I need to get across the river too, so we could do this together, And then when they get in the middle of the river, scorpion stings the frog, and the frog's like, dude, are you crazy? We're both gonna die. And the frog looks at the scorpion, and the scorpion says, yeah, but I'm a scorpion.
That's my nature.
Yeah, it's in my nature. So yeah,
right.
it sucks, and I'm not surprised.
All right, we're out of here. I will see you guys later, and